but you are an American citizen, and you have to decide whether you want to help the people or the criminals who are telling you what to do.
Amen to that. Mr. Chapman, we're going to take a break. Ladies and gentlemen, we're only going to take a 3.5-minute break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the #1 show on Wind Talkers Radio Network and the #1 show on Blog Talk Radio. We have with us today Mr. Bob Chapman, TheInternationalForecaster.com. That's The International Forecaster, Forecaster. You can reach him on an email, Bob at INTFORECASTER. You email him, and he'll get back to you. You want the truth about financial investment, where to pick up your stocks, your investments. You need a broker. Mr. Chapman is the man you go to, the go-to guy, the most plagiarized informationalist on finances in the world. Welcome back to the show, Mr. Chapman, and I want to start off with a question from Lana. She gave us a question there as we were going off the break, and it comes forth as, what is the best way to get your opinion to Congress? Mail, email, phone, or fax? Or does it even matter? And if you could, please elaborate, because I'm not having any luck.
Well, I think if you're not having any luck, what you should do is, first of all, make your message very short. Dear Congressman so-and-so, I am against the new rules respecting $600 reporting on a 1099. And could you do something about getting involved in legislation to make that go away? That sort of thing. And that's the end of it. And if you call in, and email is probably the best way to go. They have two piles, for and against. And whatever's the biggest pile, then they're going to pay attention to that. And then they're going to decide whether they want to vote for it or not. And usually your influence has a great deal to do with what they say, especially if it's lopsided. I mean, you take this issue of Arizona. It's 90 to 94% of the people are against what the federal government has just pulled on Arizona. And of course, they waited till the last minute to do it, so that it would take a while for the appeal court to make a decision on whether what the federal judge said was correct or not. So they're stalling for time here, and it's a very, very dangerous situation. And but that's what you do. You can call in, just say, I'm against Bill so-and-so, House Bill 12345, and I'd like it to be noted. And that's all they want to know. They don't care about the reasons or anything else. You're for this and you're against that, and just keep it simple.
Mr. Kevin, I have a question here. Drew constantly tells us throughout the week to get ready to bark. You're in the financial world, well-traveled around the world. What should we do, or where can we go to learn how to barter in the coming months and years? That apparently that's going to be the way to live.
Well, I think most people learn pretty fast. It'll be common knowledge that a basket of beans is worth $1 silver. A basket of potatoes is worth $2 silver, or whatever. if you want to buy a truck, it may cost you one $20 gold piece, and so on and so forth. But the rules will be there, and you'll learn real fast. I wouldn't worry about it. It'll become very self-evident.
I understand that. I kind of sort of believe that. That's why I've been working away with all my other stuff. Mr. Chapman, Europe apparently is following the misguided U.S. policy around in the financial law, which is just being passed by the United States, exempting the SEC from disclosure. What do you think this impact is going to happen in the European market?
Well, the Europeans are going the exact opposite way, actually, and they're saying we want to have everything exposed. And so they're at loggerheads over this. And in the United States, having the SEC exempt from any kind of transparency is a terrible idea. And, they're criminals as it is. And this is just going to make the SEC more criminal, because that's exactly what they are. They work with the big firms on Wall Street, and they get away with financial murder, so to speak. And they'll continue to do so even worse now. It's part of the consolidation of power among the Illuminati, and it's going to happen in every industry. For those of you who want to get a look at what's going to happen, read some of the books were written about Benito Mussolini and Adolf Hitler in the 1920s and 1930s, or read Ian Rand's Atlas Shrugged.
Very true. Mr. Chapman, the banking disaster that's largely around the northern states, but is affecting other larger areas like Denver, San Francisco, San Diego, and the banking failures from last week quietly passed the 100 milestone of the year. Very quiet. What is your take on the fact that the banking industry is being ignored by the mainstream media?
Well, the banking industry is trying to turn itself into a monopoly, and they want to put all the banks and credit unions out of business, and they want all the power in the banking industry to be concentrated probably within 20 banks, maybe as little as 6. And this is what this new legislation on financial regulations was all about. It was one of the most important things within that legislation. And it would make the Federal Reserve a financial dictator in America, and they would run everything. I mean, that's essentially it. Run everything.
Understood there. Mr. Chapman, Wall Street apparently has a death wish, and before I go into my question on that, what is your take on Arnold Schwarzenegger declaring a physical emergency in California in as much as wood broke out here?
Well, I'm no fan of Mr. Schwarzenegger for reasons other than the problems in California. But I think he's right in doing what he did. He had no choice. California has become a very liberal state. 1/3 of the people who live there now are illegal aliens. They've destroyed the social structure, and it's going to get worse before it gets better, because the liberals who are in the House and the Senate in the state of California, they're just a bunch of socialists, and they think that this could go on forever and ever and ever. And he's doing what has to be done to keep the state relatively solvent. It's going to get worse, though. The state is going to collapse.